Okay, welcome back. This is the 13th lesson. Under equations, we'll be solving some questions. The first part you have, it's about solving simultaneous equations. I'll come to the first example. We'll discuss this first. Say you have an equation this way. 36. Now I call this as the first equation. And the second equation is 3m over 8 minus 5n over 12. This is equal to minus 2. This is my second equation. Now, what is the first step? You have to always try to make the coefficient of this number same. Now, if you take n, the coefficient should be same. But here you have fractions. Now, if you carefully look at m and n, it is a bit difficult. But if you look at n and n, you can see that the numerators are same, only the denominator, it has a bit of difference, right? Therefore, now look, if I multiply the second equation by 4, what will happen? Okay, second equation I am going to multiply by 4. That will give me 3m. Okay, I'll write the whole part. Have 12 into 4 and then minus 8. So if I solve, I get 3, then it's 3m over 2 minus 5n over 3, that is equal to minus 8. I call this as equation number 3. Now, if you carefully look at equation 3 and equation 1, are the coefficients same? Yes, right? Therefore, you can solve this. How do you solve? Since they have different equation, you have to add the equation 1 plus equation 3. When you add both the equations, you will be getting, so you can do it stepwise. So I'll simplify and then write m over 4 plus you have to add both. Therefore here you have 3m, 2, no, this 2 will cancel off, 36 and minus 8. So here multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2, so you have 7m over 4, that is equal to 28. Therefore the value of m is, you can multiply 28 by 4 and divide by 7, that is going to give you 16. Okay, now how do you find the value of n? You can take any equation you want and substitute the value of m in any of the equation. Let us substitute m equals 16 in 1. So here you get 16. 16 divided by 4 is, yeah, I'll write the whole thing. Okay, that's fine. So you have 36 here, and once you divide this, you will be getting 4. I'll take it to the other side. So 36 minus 4 will give you 32. So in order to find n, you multiply 32 by 3 and divide by 5. That is going to give you 96 divided by 5. So you write both the values of m and n here finally. Is that correct? Okay. Let us check one more example. That is okay. One more example. Second example, 2x over 3 plus 3y over 2 is equal to minus 1. This is, we'll call equation 1. Okay, and the second equation is 4x minus 5 equals 22. Let us call this equation 2. Okay, now how do you solve? Now if you look carefully, here you don't have fraction form, but here you have fraction form. No, so it is easy if you convert this fraction form into normal form. That means you have to cancel this 3 and 2. So in order to cancel both, what is the best way I can adopt? So you have to find the LCM of 3 and 2. What is the LCM of 3 and 2? That is 6. So you multiply the first equation by 6. That is going to give you, okay, let us show the way of multiplying. 6 plus 3y over 2, this you multiply by 6, and here you have minus 6. I call this as equation 3. Now here this will cancel out, therefore you have 4x plus 9y is equal to minus 6. Okay, this is the original equation of 3 after simplifying. Now if you look at this and this, the coefficient of x are equal in both the equations, okay, but their signs are same. Here you have plus plus. If the signs are same, you have to subtract. You can subtract 2 minus 3 or 3 minus 2. I'll take 3 minus 2. Okay, you can do it step by step. So after I simplify, and I have 4x plus 9y, you have to subtract, yeah, minus 4x, minus into minus will give you plus 5y, and you have minus 6 minus 22. Is that correct? So this will cancel off. So 14y is equal to, yeah, minus 28. So how do we find y? It's easy, right? Yeah, so you have minus 2. Now how do you find x? You have to substitute. So I'll take equation 2, substitute y equals minus 2 in second equation. Since it has no denominators, even this you can use, okay, whatever you like. So you have 4x. So if I take y to the other side, I have 22. Here minus 5 into minus 2, that is plus 10. So taking it to the other side will give you minus 10. So 4x is equal to 12, x is equal to 3. Is that correct? So x value of x and x value of y, you have to write it. Okay, is that clear? This is simultaneous equations. Okay, now next, okay, I gave you to try a question last week on the last tutorial, that is just to solve, find the values of x. This is the equation. Okay, now how do you solve these types of questions? You have the x in the denominator, you have two fractions. Okay, now since these two fractions are separate, first we'll try to make it same. Now how do you make fractions as same? Yeah, since they have different denominators, you have to find the LCM. What is the LCM of both? Since they are different, the LCM you have to multiply, right? Yes. So you have to now make these denominators into this LCM. Therefore you have to multiply by, yeah, this you have to multiply by x plus 1, this you have to multiply by x minus 1. You have to multiply both the numerators and the denominators by the same number. Now here you are going to multiply by plus 1, this also you multiply by plus 1. Then here you are going to multiply by minus 1, and here you will be, yeah, equals 1. So this is the common denominator. So I can write this common denominator, that is x minus 1 and x plus 1, and you can solve what is in the numerator, that is 2x plus 2 plus 3x plus 3x plus 3 into minus 1. 3 into minus 1 is minus 3, and plus into minus will give you minus, therefore totally minus 3 equals 1. So I can solve the numerator part. 3 plus 2 is 5x minus 1, and I can take this denominator to the other side, that is going to give you x minus 1 and x plus 1. Is that clear? Yes. Now let us expand. How do we expand? X squared plus x minus x, yeah, minus 1. Okay, so x squared, x and minus x, okay, these two should get cancelled off. Okay, this you have studied the way of simplifying, so this will cancel off. Okay, this is difference of two squares, no? Okay, therefore you have finally this minus 1 will cancel off, so you have 5x equals x squared. Now how do you find x? Take all to one side. Okay, I'll take 5x to the other side, therefore I have x squared minus 5x equals 0. So x is common, take x out, x minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, now this or this is equal to 0 because these two are multiplied. Even if 1 is equal to 0, the result would be equal to 0. If you can say x is equal to 0 or x minus 5 is equal to 0. So here you can say x equal to 5. Is that clear? Okay, this is just you have to solve. Okay, what is the next part? Okay, we'll take, okay, just solving, that is on page number 67, third question. Page number 67, third question. That is, they're asking you from the square of a certain number. Now let's say that number is equal to x. From the square of a certain number, if you subtract the twice the number means you have to multiply by 2. Then from the square of this number, if you subtract twice the number, the result is equal to 15. Now you have to find the value of x. How do you find? Yes. What is the type of method you are going to use? Okay, let us just solve. Okay, okay, let us do step by step. First, we'll try to factorize. Let us bring, now there are so many methods, right? I have taught you even the completing square method, the equation, okay, and this is the basic method. If it is easy, you first have to try whether you can factorize this in this manner. If you can't, you can go to the easiest one is the equation method or completing square method. Okay, now you take minus 15 here, it is equal to 0. Okay, now how do we find the factors? Now you have to substitute minus 2x by 2 terms. How do we find the 2 terms? This you have already studied, right? Yeah, you have to multiply, you have the coefficient 1 and then multiply by minus 15. That is going to give you minus 15. Then write all the factors and try to get minus 2x. Okay, that is, you'll be getting minus 5x plus 3x plus it should be 15, right? Sorry, minus 15 equals 0. Okay, now factorize each 2 terms. Here x is common, x minus 5. So what is common here? Plus 3. X minus 5 is equal to 0. Now factorize in this, you have x minus 5 and x plus 3. Now if you multiply this, it is equal to 0. That means one of these is equal to 0. X minus 5 is equal to 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore x is equal to 5 or x is equal to minus 3. Okay, these are the 2 possible values. Okay, next let us check question number 7 in page number 68. That is, okay, listen to the question. The hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is 2x plus 1. Now they are speaking about a right angle triangle. Now just when you understand that they are speaking about the right angle triangle, it is better if you draw one. You should always try these questions using diagrams. Okay, in maths normally that is the way we use. Now it will be understandable. Okay, now the hypotenuse side. Now hypotenuse side is this. It is equal to 2x plus 1 centimeters. Okay, the length of the other two sides are x and x plus 7. You can call it any side. Okay, I'll call this as x and this is equal to x plus 7. Okay, all are given in centimeters. Okay, so the units are there. Okay, next solve for x and find the lengths of all three sides. Okay, now you have to get a relationship. Okay, how do you find? Now since they have given you a right angle triangle, you know that for sure it should be Pythagoras. Therefore you can use Pythagoras theorem. Using Pythagoras, you can say, using Pythagoras theorem, you can say this squared plus this squared is equal to this whole thing squared. That means, okay, you have to always mention the units. Units are there. Since I have no space and to save time, okay, I'll use this way. Okay, this is whole thing squared plus this side. You have x plus 7. Okay, centimeter, that is also there. Okay, squared is equal to 2x plus 1. Now here also the centimeter is there. Okay, so centimeter is common to both now. That is why I am writing it inside bracket. Whole thing squared. Now expand this. How do we expand? Here you have only x squared. Okay, I'll just, for now I'll leave the centimeter part. Okay, but when you are solving it, you have to always mention the units also. Okay, how do we expand this? This is like x plus 7 whole thing squared. First take the square of the first term, x squared plus 7 14x. You know the way of solving, right? And then the square of the second term, that is equal to 49, equals, okay, square this 2x plus 1. How do you expand? Okay, 2x if you expand, that is equal to 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. Now what you can do is that, yeah, you can solve. There are like terms and unlike terms, you can solve them first. Okay, when you add these to x squared, and x squared will give you 2x squared, taking it to the other side, it will get subtracted from this. Okay, and this 4, if you take it to this side, it will get subtracted from this 14x. So you have 10x, and plus 1, if you take it to this side, you get minus 1. Therefore 48 equals 2x squared. Okay, further you can divide each of the terms by 2. That is going to give you 5x plus 24 equal to x squared. Now take all terms to one side. I'll take all to the other side. Okay, now how are you going to solve? Simple, right? Okay, now first check the easiest method. Check if you have factors. Check for factors by using the factors whether you can substitute here. Place it with instead of minus 5x, can you place it with the factors? Can you? Yes, right? You can write it as x squared minus 8x plus 3x. If you have forgotten this method, just refer grade 9. Okay, you have these in grade 9. Now how do you factorize? X you take out, x minus 8, and plus 3 you take out, x minus 8, that is equal to 0. So x minus 8 or x plus 3. X minus 8 or x plus 3 are you? X plus 3, right? Yeah. You, when you multiply, you are getting the answer 0. Therefore 1 should be 0. That is x is equal to 8 or x is equal to minus 3 after you solve. Is that clear? Okay. But look here, since you know, yeah, this one side is x now. So you have two values for x, maybe this or this. Now can you take this value? Can't. Therefore you have to take x is equal to 8 centimeters and then find all the sides. It's easy, right? You have to just multiply. X is equal to 8 means 8 plus 7 is 15. Here you have 8. Okay, that's simple way of solving. Okay, next let us try how to solve questions using completing square method. Okay, completing square method. Okay, even though I gave you an example in the lesson tutorial, there are some questions which you have to understand. There is a small part with minus plus. Okay, but it is easy if you listen carefully. The example I am going to take is this. Okay, what was the very first method we followed? Okay, that is, we use in this order, right? Always x squared, then x, and put the constant to the other side. Okay, don't forget it. Now what you have to do is, you have to check for this number the coefficient of x, that is equal to minus x. What should you do? You should take the half of it, that is equal to minus 3. Don't forget it. Now you have to add the square of minus 3 to both sides of the equations. That is, you have to add, yes, square of this term to this side, and also you have to add the square of this to both sides. Is that clear? Okay, this part is done. Now what should you do? You have to factorize this. Okay, this is where you have to listen. Okay, how do you factorize? I told you have to take the first term, that is x. Also, what is the number you're going to fill? That is, you have to check for this number, the number you added without the square mark. That means what? We took half of the coefficient of x now. That number you have to add to both sides. Is that clear? You have to add that. That is going to give you, yes, you have to, then you have minus 3. You have to put minus 3, take whole thing squared. And on this side you have 9 plus 4 is equal to 13. Now can't you find the value of x? Simple, right? So you have x minus 3, removing the square sign will give you square root of 13. Therefore x is equal to square root of 13 get you the answer, that is 3.6. So 3.6 plus 3. So you have plus value and minus value. Take both. Here let us say you take the plus value, then 3.6 plus 3, that is going to give you 6.6. Let's say you take the minus value, then minus 3.6 plus 6, that is going to give you minus 0.6. Is that clear? Okay, this is using completing square method. Okay, let us try. Okay, one more question that is also using completing square method. Okay, maybe there are other methods also to solve this, but you have to solve it using completing square method. Okay, you all can try this before I discuss. Okay, what should you do first? I already taught you that if you have two fractions differently, you have to first add them and make it 1. Now since the denominators are same, you have to find the LCM. What is the LCM of both? Since they are different, you have to multiply, right? So you take the multiplication of both. Okay, this is the LCM. Now you have to multiply each of these terms by the term which is not here. This fraction you have to multiply by this, and this whole fraction you have to multiply by this. Is that clear? You have to multiply both the numerator and the denominator. We did an example like this. So I'll quickly do this part. That is correct, right? Plus 1 you have to multiply by x plus 3, and the common denominator is x plus 3, 2x plus 3 is equal to 1. Okay. Now solve the numerators. 4x plus 3 dash 6 plus x plus 3 equals, now take this to the other side. There you have x plus 3 and 2x plus 3. Let us solve. 4x plus 1 is 5x plus 9 is going to give you, how to solve this? Yeah, you have to multiply both of these terms by x first. You have to multiply both of these terms by x. After that you have to multiply both of these terms by 3. Is that clear? Yes. So multiplying will give you 2x squared plus 3x, and then now multiply by 3, 6x plus 3 times 3 is going to give you 9. Okay, now try. Okay, now simplify. 9 and 9 will cancel off. So you have 5x, here you have 2x squared plus 9x. Okay, now let us bring all to one side. I'll bring 5 to this side, then I have 2x squared get subtracted plus 4x equal 0. And also you can, yes, now we are going to do this using complete square method. Now first thing I have already taught you in complete square method, always this coefficient should be 1. If it is not 1, you have to divide by 1. Divide by the number and get it, somehow make it 1. Okay, now look here, if I divide both by 2, yes, here I will be getting 1, and also this is also divisible. It is easy. Observe, x squared plus I have 2x, that is equal to 0. Now we are going to solve this using complete square method. Okay, what was the very first method I did? I sent all the constant to the other side. Now do you have a constant here? No. So I keep it as 0. The next term is, you have to take half the coefficient of x term. That is half of 2 is equal to 1. Now you have to, yes, add this square to both sides of the equation. Okay, yes. Now how do you take it to one bracket? Yes, you write x. What did you add here? Plus 1, right? Therefore you take plus 1 whole thing squared is equal to 1 squared. So removing the bracket of this will give you x plus 1 is equal to plus or minus 1. Is that clear? Okay. Now you have plus or minus 1 and minus 1. So you take both sides. So to one side you have minus 2 and to other side you have 0, right? Yes. So this part is done. Now let us see how to solve questions based on the formula method. Okay, the very first example I'm going to work out is this. Okay, that is x squared minus 7x plus 5 equals 0. I hope this method is easy. It is simple, right? Only simplification. Now what is the a term? A is 1, b is minus 7. Take time, identify all these a, b, c, write it properly, and thereafter you have only simplification, because if you make a small mistake in this finding out these a, b, c, the whole term is wrong. So be careful with signs. Now think about the equation. What is it? Minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, now substitute. Since this is minus, you have minus into minus will give you plus. B squared is 49. What is 4 into a into c? Minus 4 into a into c, 20. That will give you 29, right? Yes, square root of 29 over 2. I'm giving you the value. Square root of 29 is equal to plus or minus square root of 29 is equal to 5.38 over 2. Now can't you find out? You can, right? First take plus and then add with 7 and then divide by 2, and then you have to next take minus 5.38 and then add with 7 and then divide by 2. Is that clear? Okay, let us move on to the next example under this formula method. Okay, that is, okay, I'm taking this term. Okay, now observe one thing. Now if I give you this question and ask you to solve it using completing square method, is it easy or hard? It is a bit hard. Why? Because I told you the coefficient of x squared should be 1 when you are solving it using completing square method, or else it becomes complex. Okay, now to make it equal to 1 you have to divide by 3. This will divide by 3, that is divisible, therefore you will be getting 1. Now when you go to divide 4 by 3, it is not divisible, right? You have a fraction part, and then when you take half of it and all that, it becomes complex. Therefore whenever you have questions like this, always go to these types of method, the formula method. So you have to just identify the terms. A is 3, b is minus 4, c is how much? It is equal to minus 7. So you take the equation, or you have the equation here, so just substitute. Here you have 4, because minus, this is also minus, and plus or minus b squared is equal to 16, minus 4, how much is a? 3, c, that is equal to minus 7, to 2 into a, that is going to give you 6. Now 4 plus or minus, and then here you have 16 plus what is the value here? You get 100. This divide by 6, that will give you 4 plus or minus, sorry, the total is 100. Okay, total is equal 100, multiplying of this is equal to 84. Is that clear? Okay, so square root of 100 is known. What is it? Yes, 10 divided by 6. It's easy, right? So you take 4, let us take this plus value first, 14 divided by 6, that is equal to 7 over 3. And also on the other side, let us take minus 10, then minus 10 plus 4 is minus 6 over 6 is going to give you minus 1. Is that clear? Okay, this is very simple. You have to just substitute. Now since we have finished all types of questions, let us check for one more example. That is on page number 75. Yes, on page number 75, check the sixth question. Page number 75. How do you solve? Okay, listen. In a right angle triangle, okay, here also they are going to speak about a right angle triangle, therefore let me draw the diagram first. Okay, diagram is done. Now in a right angle triangle, the length of the two sides containing the right angle are 5x centimeters and 3x minus 1 centimeters. What are the two sides which are containing the right angle? This and this, right? Therefore, one is equal to x, the other is 3x minus 1. So you can just write wherever you want. You can even exchange and write no harm. All are in centimeters. Don't forget the units. Okay, now if the area is given as 60 square, okay, area is given as 60 square centimeters. Okay, set up a quadratic equation in x and solve for x, and then thereby find the lengths of each side of the triangle. Now first you have to find out x and then even find all three lengths. Okay, now this is how we start. Since the area is given, let us do questions related to area. We'll change the question to area. How do you normally find the area of a triangle? Yeah, you take it a equals half into half into base. What is the base? 3x minus 1 into what is the height? Yes, it's equal to 5x centimeters. Okay, once you solve this, okay, you have into 3x minus 1 to 5x, that will cancel off. Area is equal to 16. Now the answer is given, so this will cancel off with the units on the left hand side. Okay, now these are the values left. You have to find out x. Now you have a denominator 2 here. Send it to the other side, it gets multiplied. Therefore you have 5x multiplied by 3x minus 1, and on the other side you have 120. Okay, so you first expand this. 15x squared minus 5x equals 120. Now all these three terms are divisible by 5. Let us divide. So here if you divide, you get 3x squared minus x. Here let us divide and take it to the left hand side. That is going to give you minus 24 equals 0. Is that clear? Okay, now how are you going to solve? Which is the easier method? Are you going to use complete square method? No, you can use it for so many examples, but since the coefficient is equal to 3, better to go for equation method, that is minus b plus or minus b squared formula method. Okay, c over 2a. Now let us substitute. Just a matter of substituting, right? What is a is equal to 3, b is equal to minus 1, c is equal to minus 24. Is that correct? Yes, right? B is equal to minus, it is 1. Correct? Yes, right? Yes. Okay, now let us solve. What is minus b is equal to 1 plus so minus b squared. That is going to give you 1 minus 4 into what is a? 3 into minus 24. So you have minus multiplied by minus, and also 2 into 3 is equal to 6. And then 1 plus or minus, okay, 1 plus, the answer of this is equal to 288 over 6. Now when you solve further, you have the total is 289. 289 is a perfect square. The square root of 289 is equal to 17. Now isn't it easy? Yes, x is equal to, let us take the plus value first. 17 plus 1 is equal to 18. 18 divided by 6, that will give you 3. Or you can take the minus value. Minus 17, yes, minus 17 plus 1, that is minus 16 over 6 is equal to, so you don't need, I suppose, yes, you don't need to solve this. Why? Because here you have a length called 5x, right? Yeah, if you get a value in minus for x, if when you multiply, this will become minus. Can a length be in minus? Can't. Can never happen. So therefore you can ignore this part and then take this part and then solve. X is equal to 3 centimeters. Now also you have to find this side, right? Okay, what is the method you follow? Yes, since this is a right angle triangle, you can use Pythagoras theorem. So you write using Pythagoras theorem, this total thing squared plus this squared is equal to let us call this side as y squared, and then thereby you can solve it. It is similar to the one I solved earlier, right? Yeah, we had a question related, yes, something similar to this. Okay, is that okay? Okay, I'll be uploading few more videos. Subscribe for more videos. Subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching.